Hi everyone. So last time we saw how to connect a Java application to our 2.1 database, that is HSQL. So we learned what is going on in these two lines of code which we are using to connect to the DB. So this is how we connect to the DB. So now today let's learn how to execute SQL commands from our Java database to our DB. So we will do some CRUD operations. So now this is just connection, so now we also need to add values to the DB and all, right? So we can have to add values, or we need to get the values from the DB, etc. So let's see how to do that part using Java application. So before that, so there are two ways to do this one. First one is using create statement. So we do something like we create a statement using the connection. Using this connection variable, we create one create statement dot create statement. Okay, so after this we then execute. We then, using this statement, we statement dot we execute. First we'll discuss about execute query. So we do this thing called execute query method is there. So inside that execute query, we write whatever select statement we want. Okay, select whatever. So one more, and if we want to update something in the DB, we use something called execute update. So here we write whatever the update statement. So this one returns one result set so we need to loop over this. We'll get an object, we need to loop over this using .next command, and then we will have to, then we'll get the values for this one. For execute update, it will return an int, so return type is an int, and if we like how many rows got affected, it will return that int type. But we won't be using this create statement because of mainly three reasons. So first one is the thing is, we won't be using all this at all. Why? Because we will be using something called prepared statement. So why? Because in prepared statement we get a pre-compilation. Okay, so the next one is, so what is pre-compilation means? So in create statement, each time when you execute it, we need to compile it, then again we need to build one execution part, then again we need to execute. So for each select statement, each time we do one select statement, we need these three steps have to happen. That is, first one, it has to compile, and if it doesn't compile during runtime, we will get an exception. So that is one thing. So first step is, it has to for each and every select statement we do, these three steps have to keep coming. So first one, it will compile, next we have to build it, it will build the execution path, and next it will execute. So these three steps happen every time we do that, every time we do execute query. So this will make our application slow, right? So that's why, whereas in prepare statement, it will only compile once when you do execute query. So then after that, it after that, like, you can pass in the values, and it, like I said, it will compile only once if you use prepare statement. So the 3 steps will happen only once using prepare statement, whereas if we use result set for each and everything, it will it will build that execution path. So pre-compilation, only pre-compilation happens in prepare statement. So the second advantage of using prepare statement over uh, create statement is automatic data conversion. So automatic data conversion. So what happens over here is, if you have a string, okay, if you have a string, something like some names have apostrophes like this, right? O'Reilly. So if you do these strings, okay, if you add these strings in your query, and your query will have all these colons and all. And if you add this one in between, it will cause errors in the query, because it will, so if this O'Reilly was inside this class, so it will think that that single quote is over here between this and this, and it will throw an error. So that conversion won't happen, though this is part of the string, that conversion won't happen. It won't be considered as a string, so it will cause issues. So you need to do some circus, like you need to you need to backslash it like this and all. So whereas if you use prepare statement, you don't need to do anything, even if it has O'Reilly also, it will take. So the third one is, it is prepare statement is not prone to SQL injection attacks. So what is SQL injection attack? See, so to guess one password, the hackers can execute one SQL statement by giving one true input. So I mean, I won't go much details into this one. So they can execute one SQL query, okay, and then they'll have your password. So this is about SQL injection attacks. So prepare statement is not prone to that one. So for these reasons, we will never be using create statement. We will always be using prepare statement. So how to use prepare statement and all, I will it's almost the same thing, but I will explain this with an example. So let's so this is connecting the DB. So let's use prepare statement to connect to, let's see what are prepare statements, and how to use them, where to use them. So I have created this new class over here. So let's create one more class. Let's call it jdbc. We'll create one helper class. Okay, this helper class we will use, it will just contain those connection methods. Okay, so first thing, public static, we'll write one get connection method. We can I'll tell you why we are doing all this. So get connection. So in get connection, the same thing, whatever we did in our old thing, we are, whatever program we had before, right? This one, this program we had before, right? We will just create a new, we are just adding this to a new class. We are just adding this code to a new class, that's all. So that whenever we want any method we want, we can make use of this one. Whenever we are creating one new class, instead of adding it to the main method only like this one, we can have one helper class like this, so that our main method won't be crowded. So let's write one method to get that connection. So I will just copy paste this string URL and all, password. Okay, So after I do that one, it's just a copy of the full method. Okay, so okay, so now get connection we have written over here. So it's just the exact same code. I have copy pasted it. So now what are we going to do is, here is our DB. Okay, this is our DB. It has student, it has one student table. Execute. See, it has one student table. Okay, it has 2 students inside now, and then in the next table we have student marks table. Okay, so in student marks table, the student SL is a foreign key to our student table. So 00 represents Raju and 11 represents ABC. So so in this student marks table we are keeping a tab on how much marks that student has scored in each standard. So Raju has scored so 00 ID is Raju. So Raju has scored 99, 98 in first and second standard, and then the next student SL11 is ABC. So ABC has scored 8th and 9th, 93 and 96 marks. So this is about the table explanation. Now what we want to do is we want to add values automatic from our Java to DB. Now we have how I added this one is by executing SQL commands here, but we don't want to do like this. We want to execute SQL commands from Java to here to from Java to HSQL. So that is our ultimate aim. So if we try to add one student or we try to select a student based on some condition, we should be able to do it. So that's what we are doing. So first step is we have created that jdbc helper, saying one error is there. Okay, now error is not there. So next step, now we can get this connection whenever we want. So next, after this one, next step is to first this is okay. Here I have to add few more methods. I will tell how to do that one. So over here now this is our main method. Right here, first we need to get that connection. So for now I'll keep that as null. I'll just declare that one. You might ask why I'm declaring it as null, why I'm not calling the variable. So because I need to close it, I need to close this one, so only I'm declaring it outside. In my final block I need to close this one, that's why I'm declaring outside, so that it will be accessible. I'll explain, I'll go deeper once, you'll understand once I go explain. So after this, so okay, now let's create our prepared statement. So in this prepare statement we will add our SQL commands. Okay, so will create prepare statement to insert, will create one prepare statement to insert student, that is we'll create one prepare statement to insert values to student table and one prepare statement to insert values to our student marks table. Okay, so prepare statement prepare statement, and let's call it, and in student insert, so we'll create it null again, because we are creating this as null because we need to close it. I'll explain that one. So after that, prepare statement will create one more. This is for student, this is for student marks, the second table what I showed. marks insert. So I'll just call this one also null. Okay, and next we just create one more just in case. For select statement, okay, is equal to, we'll just make this one also null. So I'll explain how that prepare statement is working. Okay, so after this let's call that try. Okay, this is a very big program, guys. So let's declare one catch method. So inside this catch method I'll just catch SQL exception E for now. So inside this try method okay, I will call that, I'll get the connection. So I've declared connection over here, so the same thing, connection is equal to it is a static class, so class name dot get connection. So here I would have got the connection. So next, after that one, so here I will create the prepare statement. So here I have declared this prepare statement, so here I'll create it, prepare statement, insert is equal to, so this is the syntax to create a prepare statement dot prepare statement. Here I will add whatever the query I want. So here I need to insert to student table. So this is our student table. Okay, this is our student table. Okay, so it has name, DOB and email. So insert into student. So insert into student, try to follow best practice. Whatever SQL statement you put that in capital, student. Okay, next you create name, comma, email, comma, DOB. So you're inserting into these columns. This column spelling has to be correct. So next, value. So for value you can just add question mark. You have three things over here, right? So just create it as question mark, comma, question mark, comma, question mark. So this is the main thing you have to understand, guys. So when you're creating a prepare statement, you're just passing this only once. Executable path gets created only once. Compilation happens only once. So execution creation path also happens only once when you do it with prepare statement. So and then rest of the time you are just passing values to this one. You just pass values, so it doesn't create an execution statement every time you pass values. So only it will create only once. After that one you can use this how much ever times you want by just passing the values. So since you can pass as many values as if you want, this is the template statement. You can call this as the template statement. Okay, so since I'll just put this down. Okay, so that's it. So we have created prepare statement for inserting. Okay, so now that we have created this prepare statement, what we'll do, we have to do con dot set auto commit. Con dot set auto commit as false. Okay, this statement, why we added this connection dot set auto commit is equal to false, because we are managing transaction management for transaction management. Okay, so why, so I'll explain first what we are, why, what is this. So here when you make it false, that SQL statement, it will, when you're inserting, it will create one temporary, it won't actually add it to this main table only, it will create one temporary table and it will add it over there. Okay, that's why you it will add it over there. Since you have marked it as false, it will add it to the temporary table, it won't add it to the main table. But why we are doing is, but why we are doing this is because suppose we are inserting to this db. Okay, next after that we will insert to student marks db also. Suppose this one, it has inserted properly. Sorry, so student, it has inserted properly, but for student marks some error has happened. Some error has happened while inserting the student marks. So ideally we don't want that, since some error has happened, we don't want to continue this transaction. Whatever we inserted over here also, we want to take it out. So we so we want to take this out also, right? So that's what we are doing. We are doing transaction management. If any one of these things don't execute properly, either this table insert method or this table insert method or any other select method, anything, etc., if it doesn't work properly, we don't want we don't want to go ahead with the insertion or deletion or whatever of this database tables. So we use transaction management. So in transaction management, this is the first step. So we create this set auto commit as false, so that it will first add it to one temporary db. If everything goes properly, it will add it to this permanent db, which is this one. Okay, if something goes wrong, it will roll back everything. Okay, so these are the three statements. I'll just give out those statements. So the three statements are this is the first one, for transaction management, this is the first one. Okay, next this one is the second one, con dot commit. Okay, so con dot commit, why it is, so why this con dot commit? If everything goes properly, here I will be inserting all my in between these two lines, I will be doing all my SQL operations. If everything goes properly, it will commit. Commit means it will add to this db. Okay, if something goes wrong, okay, it will come to this catch block, right? So over here I will add that con dot rollback. So if anything goes wrong while executing this query, this will come here and it will roll back. So whatever the db operations, so if anything was added over here, it will go off, it will get deleted. Similarly, if anything is happening over here, it will get deleted. So for transaction management, we use these three statements. So hope I made it clear for you. So this is about transaction management. So like I said, so here we have created that insert statement. Now we are con dot set auto committing. Okay, so here we are inserting, right? So let's take inputs from the user. So out enter name of the user. Sorry, should be student. Next, so before that I will just create two scanner classes to take input. SCANNER scanner, sc1 is equal to new scanner system dot in scanner sc2 is equal to new scanner system dot in. Okay, so why we created two? One is for taking integers, okay, and one is for taking words. So I prefer, so ideally the scanner class, like, so just for best, I mean just my preference, if you want to read any integers or character or whatever, use sc1. So for reading text or next line or the whole line, use sc2. So if you don't, if you use the same thing, some issues are there in scanner. I mean, not issues, I mean, it's yeah, just use this guys, sc1 sc2. You don't need to worry, nobody asks about scanners also. So you'll get some errors if you use the same scanner for lines and integers or like that. So now shit. Okay, so enter name of student. So and just create that string name, comma, email, string strdt int args, whatever that first thing, strings, this is standard. So this is the name of the student, right? So I'll use sc2 for strings. So sc2 dot next line, next system dot enter name of student and enter email of student plus name so here I have taken the name and here I have taken email is equal to sc2 dot next line. So here I have taken the email and next here I have to take the DOB. So enter P of the student, date slash month slash year. So keep this in mind, if you make it small m it will become minutes, so keep it capital M. And str date is equal to sc2 dot next line. So after that one, so now we have taken all the inputs. Okay, so after taking that inputs we have created this prepared statement, right? So we just need to pass values to these prepared statements. So how we will pass? ps insert statement, okay, ps insert statement dot set string, okay, set string 1 comma y1 see these question marks can be annotated by 1, 2, 3. We are referring to each of these question marks by 1. So they won't start from 0, they'll start from 1. So 1, what is 1 over here? Name. So I will pass here the name, whatever that user has given. Next, PS. After that, insert dot set string again. So after that, what is the second one? Email. So to comma email. So then PS insert dot set string 3. Okay, 3 is DOB. So this one is little bit tricky. So date of birth you're inserting, okay, it should be in the correct format. Okay, so I'll tell you what I mean. So this is we have to convert to one correct format and then we have to insert. So how we'll convert? We'll just put simple date format is equal to new simple date format. That one we will give dd/mm/yy. So here. So this one. So after that, so java.util.date dt is equal to stf.parse. So whatever date we obtained over here, we are parsing to simple date format using this format. So str date. I'll not handle it. I'll just throw that set more actions. So this one, this date I'll convert to SQL date. Okay, java.sql.date SQL date is equal to new java.sql.date dt. So this dt you need to do get time. So this SQL date is what you have to pass here. Okay. You're setting a date, right? So set date. So after this, ps since dot. So I have told those 3 statements, right? So once if everything goes over here properly, so if all after adding all these values, we do ps since dot execute. Okay. So after doing the execution part, we do that con dot commit. Like I said, this is for transaction management, right? So first we do set commit con dot set commit as false. Next we do con dot commit. That means everything if it comes over here, if control comes over here, that means this one is executed properly and we can commit. So that's it. So once after committing, so now let's design the catch block. So if something wrong happens, first thing we have to do is roll back, right? So we do con dot roll back. So this one also you need to, I think I'll just add it. Okay, so I'll just add it that. Okay, I'll handle it over here. So try catch SQL exception ex print stack trace. So then a dot print stack trace. Okay, so now in finally block, this one is also very important. So in finally block we need to close all of these resources. So okay, so connection is now open, this prepare statement is now open, and then whatever you have done over here you need to close it. So what I will do is I can close it over here only directly, but it is just the best practice to do it over here, because if I use it in some other class I can just call this class. So I'll just add it over here. So it is nothing, very simple. Public static void close. First thing I'll close is connection con if con is not equal to null, con dot close. So do try catch. So e dot print stack trace. So that's it. So next, after that, same method, we have opened prepare statement also, right? So we'll close that also. Just overloaded statements. What is and keep it generic. So in my final block I'll just call all of them. in reverse order. jdbc dot close. So guys, so here we have closed the connection. So that's it. Let's execute this one. It's not able to load the driver. Okay, it's not able to load the driver because I should add it to the class path. Fine. Project structure. No, fine. Settings. Wait. Modules. Jars and directories. Should go to the jar HSQL bin not this bin. Just do it there. Yes, so add this jar. Okay, gone. Okay, so now let's execute. Okay, connection is established, but okay, I think it is values. So now let's check. Okay, enter name of the student. I will give XYZ. Enter email xyz@gmail.com. The DOB, so 6066. Okay, now process has finished. Let's check our DB. Yes guys, see, XYZ has come 6 June, xyz@gmail.com. So this is how you insert into the DB. So friends, now we have inserted to the first table. Now we need to insert to the second table also. Okay, so to insert to the second table, we will write one more insert statement, same like this one. So ps marks in is equal to con dot prepare statement insert into student marks student SL standard comma marks, same thing. So values, it is question mark comma question mark comma question mark. So let's see the table. So this is a table, okay. So we don't need to do SL number since this is auto incremented, okay. So we need to add only to student SL standard and marks, okay. So after this one, after executing this, so let's take the inputs for the second table. Int choice is equal to 0. So I'll take inputs in such a way that they can keep on entering, and the inputs for the second table like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for each user, while ch is not equal to 2. Okay, so and write down here press 1 to enter standard marks. Out, press 2 to go back. So until the press 2 will keep telling them to enter the marks. So to select their choice, I'll take sc1 dot next int, okay. Next the choice whatever they make, ch case 1 so enter standard for student plus name. Next is std standard is equal to sc2 dot next line because it's a string. Next is out, enter percentage of student for standard, so plus std marks is equal to, just take it using sc1 dot next in. Okay, so now you have standard and marks, okay. So just pass it now, ps marks in dot set. So first we need to set int, so 1 comma, okay, I'll explain this one later. So what we have in this table, first we need to set SL number, right? So this SL number I will set it later. I'll tell you how to get that SL number. So for now I'll just leave it there. Okay, so now ps hyphen, so marks dot set string 2 comma std ps marksins dot set string 3 comma marks ps marksins dot execute break. So if it is case 2 break. Okay, so now we have set standard, okay, we have set marks, okay. So now how do you set this SL number and student SL? Because this whatever, for example, I have entered for Raju, that same student, if for example over here when these things are getting executed and I have entered for user Raju, so that same, and here user Raju is 0, okay, so that same user should come over here also, because we are entering for Raju, right? The student SL should, this is the foreign key of student table. So if you are entering for Raju, here Raju is SL number is 0, so that same SL number should come over here. So how do we do that? So there is one way to do that. We can either write one select statement, or there is one way to do that. So how to do that is, so here when you're inserting that student, right, so you can pass one more parameter over here, generate that parameter statement dot generated keys. Okay, so what this one does is, it will, okay, I'll tell you how to get that one. So after you do that one, here you are executing ps insert dot execute, right? So as soon as you do execute, store it in a variable called result set. I will declare that result set over here, rs is equal to null. So this result set will have it, no, we need to create one separate variable called result set. So we have declared the result set. So after that we need to do ps since dot get generated keys. So since we have inserted, we will get only one row over here since we have inserted one by one, so we'll get one row. So rs dot get after rs dot we need to do next. Okay, now as soon as you do rs dot next, it will point, first it will be pointing to the attribute, now it will be pointing to the row. So you do int sl number is equal to rs dot get int 1. 1 means there is only one entity, so we will just call 1, or you can also add sl number. Okay, so after that you are adding over here sl number. So that's how you get that, that's how we get this column over here. So this is anyway auto incremented, you don't need to worry. So that's how you get this number. You need to do this some small circus. So just do this one and iterate over and get this one. So this is how you populate the second table. After this, now we have something called result set also. So just close result set into close the result set, and yeah, connection here we'll add that one dot close result set, and then anything else ps since we have created this new one, we'll close that also. So that's it. So that's why you have to close all of them. Let's run this. Okay, enter name of student. So I'll just say mno at gmail.com 02/12/2020. Press 1 to enter standard marks. Enter standard. I'll press 5th. 89. Press 1 to enter standard marks. I'll make it in 6th. Enter percentage of student. I'll make it 92. Press 2 to go back. Okay, so now it has finished. Now let's check our DB. First let's check our student. okay, MNO is here. So now let's check our marks table. So we have 2 more columns should come for MNO. MNO is now 3. So for there will be 2 more entries for this. This SL number is a foreign key to that one. So 2 times it will come. Execute. Yeah. So 3, yes, it came 5th and 6th. So 5th and 6th, 89, 92. Yes, so it has come. So you don't need to worry about that how to add foreign key and all. You can just do this get generated keys, or else you can even do one select statement but that will be missing. So you can do like this. So yeah, that's it guys. This is how you interact with the DB. You can write even select statement also, that I will leave it to you. So yeah, so one more important thing to note down here is we are not following the MVC architecture over here. Here that controller and that database model and the controller, the database modeling, the database call should be and UI, this UI part should be in separate modules, but that was not our intent. Our intent was to understand how to interact with the DB. So that's what we were showing over here. Just keep in mind that it doesn't follow that MVC architecture. So yeah, but our aim was to interact with the DB, and that's what we are doing over here. So this is how we interact with the DB, friends. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.